You are now entering Clearview, Illinois. The name of this tale is True Calling. Sisil stumbled out of the casino and pulled open the door to her Uber. "Are you Ahid Malan?" she asked with a slightly slurred voice. "I am indeed," he said back with a pronounced and almost cliché and generic Middle Eastern accent. Sisil hopped in the back of the Elantra and the ride started. She took a look at the picture of the driver on the app, and while it did look like him if he cut his hair and lost 50 pounds, it was a difference stark enough to be recognized. "Did you lose a lot of weight?" Sisil asked, half making conversation and half to get a feel for this man who was taking her home. "Oh, yes I did. I had to lay off the sweets, and my mother makes cakes nearly every week." "Are you new to Clearview?" Sisil asked. "Yes, fairly. I used to live in Evanston, but I moved down here for work." Sisil squinted her eyes in confusion. "Can't you do Uber anywhere, though?" she asked, though she realized how condescending it sounded right after it left her mouth. "Oh, this is not my true calling. This is a means to an end. When you are good at something, it is a sin not to ply that trait. Do you not think?" "I'm sorry. Think nothing of it." "So, what is it you truly do?" said Sisil, attempting to rectify her minor social misstep. Ahid adjusted his mirror so that he could gaze upon Sisil when he spoke. She was just slightly tipsy still, but lucid enough to know she wasn't firing on all cylinders. "I am a chef, and the restaurant in which I used to work closed down, so now I have come here in search of work. I figured with the addition of the new casino, this place would be in prime position for new places to open. And as I always say, when the universe calls you, you pick up the phone. So, if I may be so bold, what is it you do?" Sisil thought hard about making up something just so she wouldn't have to talk about herself. But he had been so candid, she felt rude not to say. "I'm a kindergarten teacher," she said. "Oh. Working with the youth is a noble profession. I don't have many interactions with children. I'm not sure I'd have the patience," said Ahid as he turned down a lonely stretch of highway. "Wait, you're not taking Joshua's tunnel?" said Sisil. "No, there is construction on the tunnel. Didn't want to catch traffic." Sisil was used to that being the case in daytime hours, though she didn't think it was the case now. She didn't want to argue the point. "What is it you cook?" asked Sisil, who was now watching her surroundings to make sure he didn't draw this ride out any longer by taking slow routes. "Lamb, steak, chicken, mackerel, whatever you were in the mood for. Did you go out by yourself, or did you come with someone who is now no longer fit to drive?" Sisil began to get a subtle, creepy undertone in his voice. "I just met with friends and had a little to drink, but my husband should be waiting for me at home." Sisil added to make it seem as if she didn't live alone and had people ready to step in and defend her at a moment's notice. "I like solitude myself, but I can see the appeal of friends and family," said Ahid. "Like your mother," Sisil said. "Yes, like her," he said, almost as if he had forgotten all about her. Sisil saw the Elantra make yet another unexpected turn. "Okay, I know this isn't the right way. If you turn on Elm, we can get back on track," said Sisil. "My friend, relax. I'm just following the GPS. You may look if you would like," he said. Sisil took out her phone and began to plot a course back home. It only took but a moment before she realized that not only were they going the wrong way, they were actively driving further away. "My phone says that we're going the wrong way." Ahid took a long while to answer, getting another block out of the way before audibly locking all the doors. Sisil didn't say a word. She just started dialing on her phone. Ahid had been a step ahead and abruptly jammed on the brakes. Sisil lurched forward. When she did, Ahid yanked her phone away with one hand and pushed her in the seat with the other. "What the fuck are you doing?" Sisil said angrily. "Fulfilling my true calling," the Uber driver said cryptically. "Do you really think you're going to get away with this, Ahid? They have your information." "Do you really think I had not thought of that?" "Ahid is in the trunk right now," said the now nameless driver. Sisil tensed up as if this was becoming an actual, real, harrowing situation. Look, Ahid, or whatever your name is, I promise you this won't go the way you think. If you don't let me out of this car, I'm gonna rip you limb from limb. The fake Ahid laughed, cathartically, but with a villainous undertone. I'm in danger of you, a drunken kindergarten teacher. He began to steer the car down a dark and lonesome stretch of road. The forest took priority over civilization. So you have a blade in your purse, perhaps a gun. I have had a gun pointed at you the moment you got into the car, in fact. Ahid showed her the pistol, half turning to her, half watching the road. Why don't you throw me your purse? Sisil seemed as if she was seriously considering making her move, but this man had her dead to rights. Sisil handed him her purse. The mysterious driver awkwardly drove with the gun on the steering wheel while dumping the contents of the purse on the passenger seat. He took a quick glance at the baubles, but nothing amongst it managed to catch his attention. Is being a teacher your calling in life? Said fake Ahid. Sisil was so upset she nearly thought not to answer. I'd have to say it is a calling, not my only one. And you are very lucky, for I only have one. And it is to rid the world of people. The more the better, the more elegantly the better, for I see very little value in any human life. So you mean to kill me? I thought it obvious at this point. So in you is the spirit of destruction, the taint of the worm. I know not what you speak of. It doesn't matter if you understand it or not. You are what you are, and I am what I am. I wouldn't be so cavalier about your life, seeing you don't have much more of it left. I doubt that, but I do believe now that fate put us in this car together, for a reason. Why are you not scared? Does your life mean so little to you? Is that the only way you get off, on fear? Is it wrong to take pride in your work? It is when you do what you do. Look, Ahid, or whatever your name is, give me the gun and I'll kill you quickly. If you don't, I will kill you slower. As of now, I don't think I can allow you to leave. Ahid laughed as he pulled the car over to an unremarkable stretch of land bathed blue-black in darkness. This is your last chance, said Sisil. To save my soul? Oh no, to spare you pain, Ahid. This is going to hurt you more than you realize. Oh, I'm certain my heart will become hardened. My soul will be taken. Sisil said nothing, chuckled as if knowing a thing he did not, and followed Ahid with predatory eyes. She did as instructed and got out of the car. When the two ventured into the woods deep enough that screams would not matter, Ahid made another request that was not as shocking as it may have seemed. I want you to take off your clothes, said Ahid. Sisil scoffed, then chuckled. And out of the window goes the notion of you being a righteous murderer, said Sisil. Ahid pointed the gun straighter. Sisil began to disrobe. I had planned on doing this anyway. I didn't want to get blood on my clothes. Ahid stood there, a voyeur of death. His intention was completely transfixed on his prey. Her skin glistened in the light of the moon, perfectly toned and sculpted, in much greater physical shape than someone in her profession had any right to be. It started very subtle. What at first seemed like tensing muscles gave way to bulging muscles that grew and grew and grew. Ahid realized that she had grown a foot taller because his eye line changed. Sisil's bones cracked and reformed. Hair began to sprout from every pore. Ahid realized he was no longer the predator. In fact, he may have been the prey all along. He opened fire at the now hulking beast that bore no resemblance to Sisil, no resemblance to anything that crawled, walked, or ran in the natural world. The bullets penetrated the beast's skin, but sealed itself closed nearly as easily as it had opened it. "Oh my God!" said the impostor Ahid right before the beast pounced on him. The creature broke both his arms just from the impact of its landing. With a violence too hateful to conceive, it maliciously ripped at Ahid's chest, exposing it and creating a powerful gash. The beast growled, then slowly, cruelly slow, It bit its massive teeth into his chest, tearing out tendons in long, sticky strands. It crushed through his sternum with massive jaws. It ignored Ahid's screams, or perhaps enjoyed it. Its canine features made reading its intent much more difficult. When Ahid could take no more, the creature rended his beating heart from his chest with its teeth, then swallowed it whole, lifting its head so it may slide down with ease. Baptized in blood, the beast savored its kill, then shrank into the form of a wolf. The thing fled into the night. There was an eerie stillness in the woods, as if all life knew to stay unseen when the monster lurked about. After the beast was gone, a curious creature emerged from the depths of the forest, as if waiting for the predator to have departed. A deer with oozing black eyes strode over to the broken killer. The creature of the forest regarded the thrown-away dead man with curiosity, or perhaps with clarity of intent. It was unsure. The fawn's oozing black eyes dripped into the murderer's empty chest. It spilled freely until the blackness formed into an unholy approximation of a heart. The deer fell over dead. Then slowly, the black heart began to beat. You are now exiting Clearview, Illinois. I hope you enjoyed the trip.